UPR, UPR, 6 Park Rangers are on the up and up. UPR, UPR, now we're heading for European Cup.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the QPR podcast, Up at All Hours. I'm Paul Finney. I'm joined this week by Christopher Charles of BT Sports.
Hello, how are you?
I'm Nabad, big man. And also Colin the Hippo Clark.
Good evening, Paul.
You're more than welcome. Now, I've just got to run through a few bit of housekeeping here.
Okay.
The beers have been sponsored by Anita Jeffrey, so thank you very, 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 very much. These help keep the podcast going and keep us talking non-nonsensical. As long as we got a wee bit of alcohol in front of us, we can make the podcast run smoothly and effectively. So thank you for that. You can also find us on Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter. You can follow individual members if you wish, which is Paul Finney 1969, Chris Charles 101. Unlike the room, and you've also got David Fraser, and Chris Mendes UK. Anyway, and also yes, we need feedback because we're coming to the end of this run of the podcast, and it's always good to get feedback and things you'd like us to do. If anyone would like to invite me and Chris on an away day next season, Chris, are you listening?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And supply alcohol.
Yeah.
We're your men, all right? You don't want to take David because he doesn't drink that much and he doesn't change anyway. So, but me and Chris are guaranteed to either smash our head open, fall over, or just walk into a lamppost.
What about Chris Mendes, though?
Yeah, he does go a bit mad when he's had a few, doesn't he?
I don't think he does, actually, does he?
Were you in the pub the other week when he sent that photograph to his ITV colleagues?
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, right.
Anyway.
Tell me about that after.
We've got an interview. I'm not going to pretend. We screwed up. All right, we started the podcast. We're rapping away. It was the best podcast we've ever done, and we didn't press record. Did we, Harry? The Arsenal supporting engineer. Yeah. Just because his team is shite, he wrecks our podcast. Anyway, so we're now doing this for a second time. We've already done an interview with Darnell Furlong, which you should listen to. It is fantastic, and you will fall in love with him because he is an absolute delight to talk to. Isn't that not right, chaps?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Saturday. So, Colin, the Hippo outfit. Right. Where'd you get that from? And may I say, at 8:30 in the morning with a stinking hangover from St Patrick's Day? Yeah, because I've seen worse. Granted, bit sore in the eyes, young man. What was that all about?
Well, evening, Paul. Evening, Chris.
Hi.
It was my wife's idea, actually. Strangely enough,
They always blame the wife.
Always blame the wife. She thought it might stand out from the crowd, and and she was actually going to buy me a cheerleader's outfit with the blue pom poms and the little wig and all that kind of stuff.
Shit.
Yeah, indeed. But we couldn't get it from Amazon in time, so I was down and around Shepherd's Bush on Thursday before the walk, and just happened to pull up outside Smithy's party shop down on the Uxbridge Road in Shepherd's Bush. Popped in there, saw the lady, told her what I was thinking, wanted an outfit for the walk, and she popped out with this big hippo outfit. And actually said that because it's for charity, she'd give me for half price. So bless her for that.
Well, could you give him a plug?
Can I just go back a wee bit, Colin, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Your wife, whose name is
Mandy,
tells you to dress up as a cheerleader, pom-poms, or a hippo. So, have you thought of counselling you two? How long has she not liked you for?
Well,
and by the way, Mandy, I hope you've seen the pictures of your handiwork.
Well, your Mandy work. Sorry.
Oh, Lordy.
Well, anyway, so it actually worked because we managed to get a good amount of money in the bucket.
Yeah.
I went into one or two pubs on the Uxbridge Road.
This is more knife flipping could do in the walk.
Well, you managed to go in a pub, but
never mind. Carry on.
Well, the thing with Finney was that at 8:30 in the morning, he swore he was never going to drink again. And to be fair, he lasted a full 3.5 hours before Colin had actually bought some cans along for him, and he finally succumbed. He carried him around for a couple of hours.
I think the words were, are you drinking these? I don't know. Yes, you are, because I'm not carrying them anymore, so we did. The other thing, Colin, I have to say, you worked your arse off on Saturday, big man. You deserve so much credit, so much respect, and I applaud you and doff my hat to you, sir, because you were flipping fantastic what you did for them kids, and I really appreciate it. They really appreciate it. We all really appreciate it, because it set the tone of the day. It just got madder after seeing you in a hippo outfit. And to see,
it was not just a hippo, it was a hippo ballerina outfit. Let's be
but
clear
he must have
on
walked
that.
miles, Chris. I mean, it wasn't the world's biggest walk by any stretch of imagination, but it's a fair old jaunt.
Well, we did about 14 miles, I think, and we did
In a suit like that, like?
It was a tad warm.
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling. Well, I went to put my old pair of DMs on that I thought would be perfect for the walk, and they had a massive hole in it. I got a new pair, so I was actually breaking in a pair of DMs going on the walk, which is not the best of ideas. But I wasn't in a hippo outfit, so to be fair, doing it in that was fantastic. And then I think you sat with all the kids, didn't you, in the lower loft?
I did.
All the kids from the Tiger Cubs, I should
yes,
say.
and their faces were amazing, and it brought a tear to your eye, and that's at the end of the day why we walked 14 miles, and why this day is so amazing every year. I know it's only my first one, but it'd be the first of many, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I've done 7, and Chris has done all 8, and Chris is one of the founders of it. Well done, Chris. And you certainly set the tone for the future, young man. And Mandy, right? I'm not sure how you top a hippo outfit, but if you really hate him, carry on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, whatever you think's really bad, you get him to dress up in it, and we'll make sure he carries it out. Because
well, let's have suggestions then. What Colin can dress up in next year? Send them
Superwoman
to
outfit.
At QPR.
That's a bit enough.
But on a serious note, I mean, and the buckets that you were carrying around, and there was a few other buckets around the ground as well, raised over £1,000 just on their own.
Big man.
And Fiona Hodgson, who's one of the organisers, she sent me an update earlier, and it's 12,000 and counting, which is fun. You top that onto the 75 grand we've already raised in the last 7 years, and it's a brilliant effort. So many thanks to all that donated. Many thanks to the fans, and also it's not just about raising the money; it's about awareness as well of the condition that the kids have got, and the Rotherham fans as well. Shout out to them, because we're walking around the ground. The kids loved it. Obviously, they're doing their little tricks and stuff. We didn't have time for them to go out and.
Do you know what I find is incredible, Chris? And it's a journey that is very close to your heart, I know, because of your daughter and everything else. But I think we're breaking taboos, we're breaking myths, and we're breaking walls down. So people used to go on message boards and Twitter and be a wee bit harsh and cruel about what they say about people and judge people wrongly. I think since this whole Tiger Cubs, and you're partly responsible for this, Chris, very much so with James Doe and Andy Evans, we're educating people, and that's the biggest thing and the most important thing you can do, because every child is a child that needs love and support and help, and they're no different from anyone else. They love a wind up, they love playing football. And like us, football changes lives. And you and James Doe, fella, you are class. And I'm never saying anything ever nice about you ever again, because that really hurt. And I didn't. But I'm privileged and proud and to be part of that, and to see them kids on Saturday, and then to walk around the pitch. I deliberately didn't really know what I was doing on the pitch, so I was knackered, I was tired, I was actually raging because I didn't get a proper pint stop. And I normally enjoy my chats with Peter Gough about therapy and music and things like that there, and we didn't get a chance because somebody who lives in Liverpool didn't want us to stop in a pub this year, I presume.
Well, no, it was, to be fair, shout out to Ian Stenning as well for doing the route, and he has done for the last 8 years. It wasn't anything to do with him. He was told, because the Tiger Cubs were playing in a match in the AstroTurf near the ground, the idea was to meet them there at 1:30.
Oh no, but let's slag him anyway.
Yeah, I'm not having that. But
Ian did well, actually. He comes down from Liverpool and he walks that route. I didn't know that, and fair play to him. I'm just joking with you, fella.
Yeah, and also another thing on that, I know we're going to get onto the 5-1, which we've already talked about, and we've already talked about this, but we'll pretend we haven't done.
You might have just ruined that.
There's 54 on the walk this year. We started off with about 20, and the whole thing with the walk, it's just, I mean, basically you sort of move about during the walk. I mean, Ian starts off at the front, then he'll drift a bit back, and Andy Evans might move a bit forward. So basically, you're chatting to somebody different all the way round. And one minute you're talking to, someone like the hippo opposite me, Colin. One minute you're talking to Andy Evans. One minute you're talking to one of the other fans, one of the parents of the kids with Down syndrome. Then you're walking along talking to Andy Sinton. Next minute you're talking to Lee Hughes. I mean, credit to Lee Hughes again. He wanted to do the whole walk again this year, but last year he did the whole thing and was actually late for the match and meeting all the bigwigs. So he got a little bit of a flea in his ear, and so he had to cut it a bit short this year. But Andy Sinton again did the whole thing, which is brilliant. They don't have to do that. The players donated $2,000. They don't have to do that. They've got money, fair enough, but no one's putting a gun to their head and saying that they've got to donate the money. So I just think, it's a brilliant cause, and just a big up to everyone. There was even a dog called Stanley with a scarf, a QPR scarf around his neck, who did
He was fantastic. He didn't like my costume very much.
Oh, didn't he?
No.
Okay.
Growling at me on many occasions.
Not often a dog.
That
meets
wasn't
a hippo.
Stanley. That was me.
Oh, and a big up to Lee Hughes' wife as well, who actually completed 90% of the walk.
Yeah.
Bless her. She was a lovely lady.
Yeah, indeed.
Do you know what makes me proud as well of it? And I'll be honest with you, is the camaraderie that everyone has. I mean, I know I looked like I was at the back of the group, walking around the pitch, everything else, but I did do something really stupid, which I'm quite embarrassed with. Is you come round and everyone goes and sits. Some people go and sit in the school end or lower loft, and I had to get to the upper loft G block where I sit. And me being me, takes a wrong turn and walks straight into Nua, basically. Go down it. I was like, all right, that's not the paddock, is it? Right. And
did he say, are you Martin O'Neill from the QPR podcast?
He might now be thinking that Ireland are scouting him, which is,
maybe that's what spurred him on to score.
I tell you what,
he doesn't score very often.
It's changed. He could be the new Paul McGrath or the new Big Mac. You never know, eh? But anyway, listen, we'll go on to the match on Saturday. I mean, 5 different goal scorers, 5-1. We've got a new hero in Freeman. What's to moan about, chaps? This podcast is getting a bad reputation.
Well,
this
is the problem. I said this last week. We are running out of things to have a pop at people about, which is fine by me. I'm quite happy with that. I mean, we're top of the league with a form table at least. We really did sort of cruise to victory almost. We didn't really get out of second gear for the first half. Bit of long ball going on, and then he switched it in the second half. And Grant Hall, who's been fantastic already this season, it's been a revelation. He's been asked to do a completely different job, and he just switched back, into midfield, second half. Different team really, played it along the ground a bit more, and in reality it could have been 8, it could have been 9, but we were literally in cruise control, and I don't think any player you could pick out had a really bad game. Smithies didn't have an awful lot to do apart from that fantastic goal from Rotherham, which everybody spontaneously applauded.
Colin,
all the Rangers fans, even in the highlights, you can see it on the TV. They were all applauding that goal. It was uncannily good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Uncannily good.
I thought it was an absolute belter.
Uncannily, as in you're not expecting.
Uncannily because you weren't expecting it because they were pretty damn awful.
Yeah.
And as we said in the previous podcast that was recorded, evening Harry, probably the worst team that scored the best goal at Loftus Road.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
It was a cracking goal. But however, we went on to absolutely annihilate. I beg your pardon?
I thought there was a moan coming there.
No, not at all.
Jesus, someone's got a moan at some point.
And you've got to doff your cap really to Ollie for changing it slightly in the second half and getting the guys playing and getting the crowd up and getting those 5 goals in, which we haven't seen in a long time for Loftus Road. 5 goals for the.
Was Forest the last time we scored
5? Was it 5-2 or 5-3?
Something like that.
Against Forest. Morrison scored twice, I think.
Do you know what I liked about Saturday as well? I'll be honest with you. I like the spirit, I like the camaraderie, but what I love more than anything is seeing the guys talking to each other and cheering each other on. And that's what football's all about. Let's not be fooled. There was trouble in them dressing rooms before. There was issues. It's so wonderful to see these guys really going out there giving it a go. And Holloway and Bircham have changed that around is absolutely amazing because, let's face it, we've had a fair few mercenaries down there. I would have these guys above them, even in the Championship. Forget the Premier League any day of the week, because this is proper. And dare we even hope next season for a promotion push? Because Rangers are like, they take you up to the top of the hill, then they kick you on the arse and throw you down the other side.
That's very true.
But I've got a sneaky feeling, and I think people should get down the bookies and put some money on us, because I think something special's about to happen at Rangers next season.
Well, I hope so, mate. I mean, I don't want to put too
Like
much...
a win an FA Cup match? No.
Yeah, no.
I'll go that far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, I
Apologies, listeners.
don't want to put too much pressure on us. I mean, I would genuinely be happy with a finishing a bit further up mid-table next season, having a comfortable season all the way through, developing the team even further. But I mean, you're not a proper football fan unless you want your team, to do as best as they probably can. And I think if we keep the nucleus of the squad and we don't have a bonkers transfer window, we're not like sort of shipping 6 out and 6 in again.
I think them days are gone, mate.
Yeah, but I think we have got a genuine chance. And I was talking to Lee, who's on the walk, and there was, a few of the things we said. I said, okay, that's off the record and that's fine. But I think
no one's listening, Chris. What sort of things are they?
I think this is fine. I mean, I just said to him, would it be too soon to go up next season? Just saying how well Ollie's doing, etc., etc. And he said, never too soon to go up. And I was like, okay,
never too soon to pay that debt off.
No, but then I said, but the problem we have is if we did go up, would we go and do what we did last time?
Nah.
Throw bonkers money at it and then it all ends in disaster. And he just said, not a chance.
He did make me laugh, because apparently in this house, I don't know if this is off the record or not, but you should never tell me anything off the record anyway, because I've got a terrible memory.
Well,
no, it wasn't. Apparently Burnley fans had a Hughes out banner.
Really?
And his wife got it, and she has it in the house. So if his wife's listening, if your husband does something wrong, can I pick it up? just in case, But no, I think, he might not be everyone's cup of tea, and he may do things in the future that we don't agree with, but I think he knows what he's doing, and he seems to put the club forward, and he doesn't care if he gets flack as long as he seems to be doing what he thinks is the right thing. And he's professional. Let's face it, we've had some absolute idiots at CEOs, and it's nice to have someone who's prepared to do the walk, prepared to talk to you without patronisation, and you can have a proper argument with, if the time comes, who will take it on board sometimes.
Personally, I'd say that that guy is probably one of the best signings QPR have made in the last couple of seasons, to be honest with you.
All right, we're joined on the phone by Donnell Furlong, who has had an absolute massive transformation, I think, and I can honestly say I see a future England right back on our books. Right, hello Donnell, how you doing, big man, you all right?
I'm very well, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. And
good.
Yeah, you're like me, you're a North Londoner, even though I'm Irish.
Yeah, best place, eh?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm a Barnet person myself. The only thing wrong with Barnet, they could do with an Nando's. Anyway, never mind that. Right, we're joined by Chris Charles.
Hi there.
Chris Charles is a professional one, and Colin Clark. Can you hear us okay, Donnell?
Yeah, just about.
Good man. Right, Chris, off you go.
Okay, Donnell, so it's great to see you back in the first team. Do you think you can make that shirt your own?
I suppose that's what I'm trying to do,
I'll give it to you.
Well, you're doing a great job so far, mate. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Sorry?
I say you're doing a great job so far.
Oh, thanks a lot for that. No, I appreciate it. No, I'm just enjoying it, It's great to be back, I've had my time out now, and it's good.
Yeah. I mean...
Continue.
Yeah, I mean, I never wanted to see you go out on loan, but in hindsight, do you think those loan spells at Northampton and Swindon have helped your development?
Yeah, definitely, because I don't think that unless you're very, very lucky, I don't think that you can just come straight into first team football at such a high level, being Premier League or Championship, and just play straight away. So to go out, I don't think that 21 football, 23 football can prepare you just about enough for that. I mean, it's excellent while you're trying to get there. You're an under 16 trying to play up in the 18s. You're an under 18 trying to play up in the under 23s. So it's all well and good until you've had a sort of maybe a season in there and you're feeling quite comfortable. Then the next step is to go out and play lower league football. So you're up against men now.
Yeah, I mean, you had a bit of a baptism of fire in the Premier League, didn't you? I'm thinking particularly that game against Arsenal when you were asked to mark Alexis. How was that?
Yeah, it was difficult, It was a great experience for me. I loved every minute of it. I wouldn't have changed it for the world, because I felt that what I learned from those 3 games that I played there, like, brought me on massive, you know, like anything that I could have learned in years, like I learned there, you know, in those games. So it was excellent for me, and yeah, I just tried to just do my usual and try to get on with what I was doing, and yeah, just panned out that way.
And how was it playing? How was it coming up against? Were you sort of overawed a little bit when you realised who you were marking?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, I was sitting in the change room. I remember sitting in the change room before, and I was thinking to myself, like, look, I know he's one of the best in the world, but how good are the best in the world? You know, like that's sort of like what I was thinking to myself. Like, and then when I got out there, I soon learned. You know.
Do you know what though? I wouldn't mind playing against him now if I was you. I can tell you.
Yeah. Who knows, eh? I'd love to play against him again.
Well, I don't think he'll be there for much longer between you and me, but that's another story. But
yeah, who knows, eh?
I'll tell you what. On a serious note, I'm going to try and be serious here.
Yep.
What role has your father played in your career? I mean, did he always want you to be a professional footballer, or did he think, oh, I don't really want you going down that route?
I think that it was always something that he would like me to do, but I was never sort of pressured into it or forced or anything like that. It was just a case of when you're young, you don't really realise, you know, you're just sort of like playing for the fun of it. I was more interested in kind of playing with mates until sort of a later age, and then you sign for QPR as a schoolboy, and you don't really see it as, oh, I'm a almost at the level of a professional footballer for my age, because it's just kiddie football, isn't it? You know, so it's just a case of just enjoying it, and then when it gets to it sort of like creeps up on you quite quickly. Like all of a sudden you're competing for your scholarship, and you're a bit like, wow, there's almost a bit of pressure in football now, and then it just builds from there. Was
your mother pleased to get another footballer in the family?
I don't think she was, to be honest. I think she's sick of doing the pre-match meals.
And she's thinking, oh God, just when you get settled as the transfers again, I'll have to follow him around the country and feed him. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. My school teachers are talking about how they want my sister to be involved in the football team. My mum's just said no.
You are kidding, aren't you? Seriously?
No. She's happy with it, but you know, I mean, she'd much rather maybe go down other avenues.
Is she a handy player, your sister?
Sorry?
Is she a handy player, your sister?
Yeah. No, my sister plays. Yeah, she likes to join in at school. Similar to how it was for us when we were young. We just don't really care. You know, we're playing every sport: basketball, cricket. You're just playing anything really with a ball. So you're just diving into it all.
I tried that when I was a child. There was a nuisance for local people's windows, I can tell you.
It's a nightmare, that feeling. Oh my God.
Hi Darnell, it's Colin here. How you doing?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I've just got one or two questions from a couple of guys on Twitter who have sent me a couple of questions for you this evening.
Yeah, no problem.
So Gary Ramsden has said, what's been your most memorable moment so far in a QPR shirt?
It's a difficult one, you know, but I'd have to say it's probably one of the games this season, you know, away at Birmingham. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone enjoyed that, you know. We're sort of like, we're going on there. We've been on a bit of a sticky run just before that.
That's right.
So to go up there and, you know, like just play a team like we're playing in our grounds, you know, it wasn't like we sort of like went to their turf. Yeah. We made it our own, and everyone was a man. And to come off that, I mean, there wasn't many better feelings than that.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. And I've got one more here by Hazard by Nature. He says, "What players do you admire or want to emulate, and what aspects of your game do you feel has improved or needs improvement?"
I think that's a general question that really asked a lot, you know. But it's like sometimes you don't really have an idol or someone that you try to model yourself on. I mean, I look at someone like Carl Walker, and I think to myself that maybe he's everything I want to be, you know? Like, I mean, he's like everything that I want to be, and he's doing it all. He's playing for England, you know? I mean, that's the dream right there.
Yeah.
But then you look at people closer, you look at James Perch and the career he's had, and not only the career, but the man he is, you know? Like the way he talks to people in the change room, how much he's helped me out. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's a lot of people around me to look up to, you know? And then I've obviously got the main one with my dad, you know. I just like to sort of like, if I can emulate anything that he's done, you know, I'm on the right track.
Fantastic.
You mentioned James Perch there. So at the moment, I mean, if he gets the nod ahead of you or vice versa, are you both sort of take it on the chin and wish each other good luck?
Yeah, of course. I mean, any time that I've played and Perch hasn't played, you know, he's helped me out. He's told me things that maybe there might be a winger that he's played against a few times, and he's telling me, he likes to do this, watch out for this, maybe do this to him, So he's always been there for me to try and help me out but I would always do the same thing. I mean, I can't pass on that knowledge to him. He's done it before me, but I'll try to give him anything I could if I could.
I mean, that's great to hear, and it sort of buys into. We had Connor Washington came on here a few weeks ago. I was just talking about the team spirit, which we can see anyway, obviously, but just saying that you all get on well on and off the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the group that sort of like the staff have kind of like made. Since I've come back, I've really noticed it. The group is together. People aren't getting disheartened when they're picked, because we have to go into games and we set up to win every game, So maybe that's the time when you need to be included, and maybe there's a time when you don't need to be included. You just have to take it on the chin, and if the boys get the win, then you just got to be ready to go for the next one.
Do you know what, Donnell? I used to play five-a-side in Muswell Hill, and yeah, I know. If you see me, you wouldn't believe me. I look like Martin O'Neill and run like a big hippo. And your dad used to come down sometimes and help the local kids, and he had his own team and that there. Do you know what? Yeah. I'm not just saying it because you're a son. How nice is your father? Is he always that nice? Or is there times he gets in your nerves? Because he's just such a lovely human being.
A couple of times in the front room maybe, but other than that, no, he's all right,
He's just proper nice, isn't he? I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's just like always relaxed, always chilled. Has that helped you develop as a player as well, and a person, having someone so cool as your parent?
Yeah, definitely. Because as I said before, I was never forced into anything. I mean, I could have told him yesterday that look, I don't want to play anymore, and sort of like he would have obviously advised me not to and made me think about it. And that's actually at the end of the day what I wanted to do. Then he'd stand by me, And I've always had that assurance, and not that I've ever had any doubts with football. It's always what I wanted to be. So to have him there and the character he is, and I always have had him there. It's helped me so much. I'm very fortunate because not everyone has that. Not everyone. Some people have to wait until they're going into training to ask people advice. I've got someone 24/7 in my front room, my room, wherever.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. And does he like the song "There's Only Two Furlongs"?
I haven't actually asked him about it, but hopefully it brings a smile to his face.
It certainly brought a smile to my face. I think that's one of our chants of the season, that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you watch him play much as you were growing up, Darnell?
Sorry?
Did you watch your dad play much as you were growing up? Did you see him play down at Rangers?
Yeah. It was. It's funny enough because the times when I would have seen him play most was sort of QPR onwards. When I was younger, he was at Chelsea and Birmingham, a place that I would have only been once or twice, and I would have been too young to maybe understand. But sort of like QPR, Luton, Barnet, sort of like onwards from there. That's when I started to really realise what it was and what my dad was doing, kind of thing. So,
were you there? Were you there at the Oldham playoff game?
Sorry?
Were you there at the Oldham playoff game when he?
Yeah.
When he scored at the end.
In the back of the stand, I just remember. I remember seeing him go through, and that was all I saw. After that, everyone was standing up, that's going crazy. That was it. Yeah, but that was arguably one of my best times in the ground, and I wasn't even involved.
Fantastic.
Welcome to my view of the game from the G Block. I can tell you. Now we'll let you go in a wee second, Donnell. But one thing I wanted to ask you was, without saying obviously anything about previous manager and that, because let's not go there. But what difference has Ian and Mark made to the dressing room?
Just since I've come back, obviously I came back and they were already there. I didn't sort of like notice the change because I was already out. But since I've come back, it's just the right environment. I mean, it's hard for me to sort of like put my finger on exactly what it is because I'm only young. I haven't sort of experienced a bad change room, a good change room. I haven't really experienced that. But just everyone wants to work for each other, and they want to work for the manager. They want to work for the players. You want to work for the person to the left, to the right of you, So everyone's just really, they just really want it for each other, and it's scary to think because next year, who knows, I mean, we look at the form table and I think we're right up there. So who knows what can happen next year,
If things don't work out for England, do you want me to give you a reference for Michael O'Neill?
I don't know. We'll see, eh?
Is there any line at all, even a Jack Russell you might have brought over there, brought home? No?
I'll try and find it, eh?
I'll give you a hand. The Mooney and Barnett fella, nip down for 5 minutes and we'll sort it out. Because I think you've got an amazingly bright future, and you're so grounded, so level-headed. It's a pleasure to watch you play for us, and onwards and upwards, as they say. And the last few home wins have been tremendous, fellas. Here, so you and the boys have worked your arses off for us, and we do appreciate it. The fans do try and give you some backing, and let's hope next season we can just raise the roof a wee bit more.
Yeah, no, who knows? Yeah, no, thanks a lot for that. But yeah, like the players are all the same. I'm the same. I just love playing for the club, and we just want to win every game. We don't care who we're playing. There's never a free hit against us. We always want to win. So.
You're a good bunch of lads, Phil. Well, listen, Donald, thank you so much for your time, mate, and best of luck for the rest of the season and beyond that. And it's joy to watch you in them hoops, big man. You take care of yourself.
Nice one. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks
Cheers,
guys.
Darnell.
Cheers, Darnell.
Take care, mate.
Take care, mate.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, man. Oh, what a lovely fella he is.
Do you know what?
Well, you said his dad's a nice fella. It's obviously a chip off the old block.
He really is. Honestly, I used to do his head in. I'm sure I did. Because I used to... Oh, my teammates didn't mind. I was shite anyway. But I used to come out of our game and talk to him. He'd be standing there watching the game. I did make an arse of myself because there was a team playing in Rangers kits.
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe they weren't. Maybe they should have been wearing QPR kits, but let's pretend I said that.
Yeah.
And I walked over to them and went, "You arse!" Yes, you do. And they all looked at me and went, "There's a weird bloke, looks like Martin O'Neill over there, shirt, you arse." That's a strange one. And then I found it was Furlongs' team. So every time I seen them and he was trying to coach him, I would, go and have a chat. And he was always a lovely fella. And every time you see him, he has a yarn. And I don't know, I can see why Donnell's so grounded, and it's good to see him. And them sort of players I'll have at the club any day over any of the expensive ones.
Do you know all the players we've had on recently? I mean, Connor Washington particularly, like very eloquent, very sort of, like you say, grounded. No sort of prima donna stuff going on there. I mean, I was sort of been bigging up Darnell for a few weeks, as I'm sure loads of other people have as well, because okay, he'll make the odd mistake in defence and blah blah blah, but as any other kid of his age would do. But I just think he's so exciting going forward, and he's got that prodigious Les Ferdinand-like leap. He's got the long throw on him as well. I mean, I didn't ask him this as soon as he said that Carl Walker was his hero, it sounds like he wants to stay at right back and develop into that sort of player. But I was wondering, as I said on the pod last week, whether he might turn into a bit of a Gareth Bale and be pushed further forward.
Well, no, that role he does can be a Walker type role. We had Walker alone. That's more or less what he did. That attacking fullback.
Exactly, yeah.
But I tell you one thing though, he's got us. He has got it in his heart. I mean, it just shows you the spirit that Mark and Ian are bringing in. You can see even when he said when his dad scored against Oldham and stuff. Yeah, he's got the DNA there, right there. And he never went to see the other.
It's great to hear a young lad's take on the spirit in the changing room and how he's getting on with all the senior players and how they're all gelling together. It's fantastic.
Well, the thing is, if you've got guys that are as nice or seem as nice as him and Connor and the rest of them, then why wouldn't you all get on together?
Anyway, dear listener, we messed up, even Harry. And because of that, we've got a shorter podcast and we're trying to rush this really quickly. So we're not on acid. We're just talking really fast to get it all done before they actually lock us in and we can't get home this evening. So let's go to ours end of the show.
Okay.
Colin. Because you were ready. No, Chris, go first. Colin,
okay, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what's called being a Paul Finney and talk about a couple of things that I mentioned in the original podcast, but haven't had a chance to mention. First of all, Luongo, first goal in 54 appearances, which was fantastic.
Well done, that man.
And I think him and Freeman in midfield have been fantastic the last few games. There's a bit of steel in there, and yeah, it's a great turning into a great partnership. So I mean, if he scored 1 in 54, probably the next one will be season after next. So look forward to that one.
So should Friedman get the freedom of Shepherd's boots?
Well, should he indeed? Another quick one, Ravel. Quick answer: should he stay or should he go?
Ooh, we did a lot of song things here tonight, haven't we? Link to the Clash there. QPR fans, welcome to the podcast. Yeah. It's a weird one because in him you have a future international. His attitude stunk for quite a while through his career, or he's been misguided or misjudged. I don't know, but I think Holloway's and Bircham's is team spirit above everything. And if they can get the best out of him, we've got a hell of a player on our hands. So I would keep him with the view that he toes the line with the rest of the lads.
My thoughts exactly, Paul. If he can sort his attitude out, if Ollie can get him up and playing and playing like we all think how talented he is, then I would definitely give him another season.
Yeah.
I tell you what, guys. Look, if you actually think about it, we've got a hell of a midfield selection next season.
Absolutely.
You know, got Powell, you got Morrison if he stays, you've got Manning, you've got Luongo, you've got this.
There's Cousins to come back in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we have now become competitive for places, and maybe that's the issue as well. No one can take for granted their place.
Yeah.
And it was really good what Donnell said about James Perch. You know, instead of sitting sulking like people would have done before, he's actually encouraging the guy who's taken his place.
Yeah.
That fills me with great hope.
And from where I sit, which is right at the front of the East Paddock, and Jamie Mackey's been on the bench for the last few games.
Friend of the pod.
Not getting a game, friend of the pod. But he seems to be Holloway's man down there at where the subs are warming up. He's talking to them about positioning. He's talking to them about tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just see him encouraging the guys along. He's not on the park, but the guys are warming up, and he's giving them the encouragement. And then they're coming on. I can see him being a part of the club for a long, long time in that sort of coaching role. I would imagine.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, this is the RZN turning into a typical Philly fault. No, not at all. It's my fault. But yeah, I thought Morrison had a better game. On Saturday he had a decent cross shot that nearly went in. But yeah, I agree with you. In Ollie we trust. In fact, Sean Walsh tweeted that he's happy to fund the lettering to make up the name In Ollie We Trust. He's just looking for someone with a plane. So if anyone's got one, give Sean Walsh a shout.
I think to help Sean out with financials, someone should hire a great Roddy Big drum, whatever they're called, drums, whatever the things are called. I'm dyslexic, I haven't mentioned that. And do it on that, because I'd do it very smallies, and then we'll have binoculars, because it's more environmentally friendly.
Okay, thanks for that, Paul.
You're welcome. Oh, have you got anything for yours into the show, Mr. Clock? Not to be confused with the Northern Ireland QPR ex-international that played for the Great Hoops.
Not really.
Because you look similar.
Thanks for that. All I have to
in a
say,
hippo outfit. Whoops.
Talking to the hippo outfit, all I have to say is harping back to the beginning. Tiger Feet 8 walk, probably the best day I've had for a long, long, long time. Fantastic that the management and the players actually donated the tickets for all the walkers to sit in the stand. So big up to the players for that. Fantastic to walk along with Lee Hughes and Andy Sinton. I was starstruck chatting to him. It was just a big fantastic day. And my mate Kev, who wasn't going to come along, didn't sign up for it, but decided to come along and walk with me on the day. Good for him. Thanks, mate.
Kev.
Sorry, that's all I've got for you guys, and it's been a pleasure to be on with you.
No, it's been great to talk to you, mate.
Right, as Morrissey would say, I have an R's end that will never go out. All right, this is a pod that never goes out. What's better? I know we tried that earlier on, and now we're trying something else.
Yeah, it was rubbish the first time. Go on then.
Those listeners who missed out on it, we recorded the whole pod. And evening, Harry. It went a bit raw. Yeah, it wasn't recorded, so we're now getting a wee bit alcohol in hand. So we're going to end it soon. But my R's end. It was a pleasure to walk with you two Saturday. I didn't talk to many people for the first hour because I was in a massive, pissed off, hangover state of mind, and my inner conscience was still recovering from seeing a leprechaun pee in the toilet in the Wetherspoons at about 11:30 at night, and that was weird. Especially when you said I'm not a figment of your imagination. I wish he was. And proud to be associated with Tiger Cubs. It was brilliant, but also prouder to see the work that Andy Evans and the community people do, because our club gets slagged off a lot for overspending. Other clubs don't understand, as they thought we'd turn into one of them clubs that sells their souls for the Premiership, and we haven't. There's great work done with this club. It's got a great soul. It's got a great feeling. It's got a great fan base, a great community, and I'm proud of our fans. And the applause that we got walking up that road on Saturday, your hairs in the back of your neck were standing up. So thank you to everyone who took the time to applaud us. We're not doing anything special. Them kids are special. We're just walking a few miles to help them out and educate people and helping these kids. So thank you for that. But one other thing I would like to say the hours into the show is David Fraser. next year you're on that walk.
Yeah.
Because someone needs to bore people. And I can't keep doing it. I can't keep being the person everyone avoids talking to for 3 or 4 miles. We need someone worse than me. So I'm throwing the gauntlet down. For every step David Fraser walks next season, we'll buy him a pint to get him drunk, to see if he is actually funnier drunk than he is sober. Which is going to be an interesting one. Now, that's the end of my hours in the show, apart from one last thing, which is basically, well done Ned Nua for scoring Saturday. He's had a lot of flack this season. He had a tremendous game, and I'm so delighted. And he really enjoyed scoring that goal, you could tell. So I'm well chuffed with the fella. Well chuffed. And then Luongo as well. Good to see him get his goal in. Right. We've got no international. It was international this week. Can I just wish Northern Ireland all the best and Conor Washington in the Green and White Army all the best next Sunday against Norway at Windsor Park, and three points and the World Cup qualification. I'm not going to Russia. Thank you very much. I watched that documentary.
I think the form he's in, he's got a good chance of scoring. So,
he has.
Yeah, I'll be behind him all the way. I mean, and then all the Ireland squad definitely looks better than the England squad. That's the sure fact.
Oh, let's not get into that debate. You won the World Cup in '66 after all. Right, Colin, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure to walk with you Saturday. It was an absolute unpleasure to see a hippo in front of me at 8:30 in the morning with sunken, drunken eyes. You guys that listen to the podcast, if you can please donate to the Tiger Clubs, we'll be ever so pleased. You can find it on Twitter, or you can go to Virgin Just Giving, Tiger Feet 8 backstroke.
Basically, Google Virgin Tiger Feet 8.
Yeah, or just follow any of us lads. I'll give you that. But one last thing, people. One last thing. And it's not on ours end. We have an announcement to make. Chris, what are you doing on the 9th of May 2017 anywhere near a Good Ship pub in Kilburn?
No idea. Please enlighten me.
We have got Mark Bircham at the Good Ship on the 9th of May. We're going to try and get a few other surprises along. We're going to try and make it a brilliant podcast night. Please come along and support your podcast, because without you guys, we are nothing. 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 So come down, support us, and keep us going. Otherwise, people like Sean Walsh can't express how he wants to get an airplane going through Loftus Road.
Exactly.
This has been Open All Hours. This is our second podcast of the evening. Evening, Harry. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Good night, God bless, and come on, you R's.
UPR, UPR, 3 Rangers.